Let's talk about the concept of simple interest versus compound interest. Let's assume that you have one time period, and I like to show the time period starting at time 0, which would be right now, and ending at time 1. And normally we're talking about a year, but it could be a month. Let's say we start with $100, and let's say that we earn 10% interest. Well, you instinctively know that $100 times 10% interest would be $10. But you'd also get your $100 back, so you'd have $110, which essentially means you have 100 times 1 and 100 times 0.1. So this amount equals 100 times 1.1. Now, suppose you have one more year that goes by. So now that you're at time 2. Well, simple interest would say that you only receive another $10. And you'd add that to the 10 that you've received and the 100. And you would have $120. Compound interest says that you would earn interest on your interest, which means in the second year you would have this 110 times 1.10, and that would equal 121. And for a second, let's just take a look at our calculator, and this one is set for 6 decimal places. Normally we're going to use 2 decimal places for dollars, and so what we'll do here is to change our number of decimals showing, we'll hit the second button, and then down here where it says format, and the decimal that we want to use, I want to go to 2 decimal places, enter, and then I can clear that, and now I'm going to be at 2 decimal places, so I'll clear what I have here. But 110 times 1.1 equals 121. Okay, well, what we also have is that this 110 is equal to 100 times 1.1, and then we're multiplying by 1.1 again. So what we have is 100 times 1.1 squared, and that's equal to our 121. And in fact, however large the time frame is, we're going to put that number of periods as our exponent here to calculate what we would have at the end. And of course, the longer the number of time periods, the better off you are in compound interest versus in simple interest. So if we went to the third period, it would be 100 times 1.10 to the third power. And on your calculator, that would be 1.1 y to the x 3 equals, which is 1.33. Actually, in this case, we'd probably want to go to more decimal places because it's not 1.33, it's 1.331. And we're going to multiply that times 100. And that gives us $133.10. Whereas in this case, it would only be $130. So you see that simple interest is not nearly as advantageous as compound interest if you're the one who's doing the saving.